Well, hello guys, and we are doing a quick test. Okay, it looks like everything is going well. Let me make sure that I can see all of this, which is what's important right here. And let me sort of bring this down. I'm doing some adjustments, right, while I'm actually broadcasting. Okay, so just bear with me. Okay, please bear with me. Let me make sure my lower 2/3 is up. I want to make sure it's no. I want to make sure it's here. All right, so let's do this here first, and let's do that there, and let me bring this back up. Okay, it's okay. Here we go. All right, that's what I want to do. All right, and I want to bring this on the bottom. Nope. All right, this will work, and I'm gonna put this on this side here. Here we go. Yep. All right, and let me see if I can adjust a couple of things here. All right, so that we can get all up and running. And I think that we are up and running. So if you are seeing this for the first time, you know, I want to welcome you. That's the first thing. All right, and let's take a look at my bots. All right, and make sure that the audio is coming in. It looks like the audio is coming in. It looks like everything is coming in. Let me see if I got this right. So anyways, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Charles Richard, and I haven't streamed in a long time. So we've got this different setup, right? You know, and we're testing this out. I've got a I'm just streaming with my laptop for those of you that are just kind of curious and want to know how it is and the stuff that I use for streaming. If you use the Yoga, the Lenovo Yoga, which is what I've been using for quite some time when I am on in remote locations. All right, so if I'm in a remote location, this is what you will see me stream with. And I am also using a new microphone. It's a blue microphone. I'll tell you about this on a different video. Okay, how I picked it up from a thrift store, very inexpensively. And I am actually I've got a gimbal that I want to talk to you about, which I've been using quite a bit with my iPhone 16 Pro Max, which is this is the camera that you're looking at right now. Is the iPhone 16, the Pro Max, the new one, right? Is what I'm using as a camera. The cameras are phenomenal on these phones, so I just want to sort of like reiterate that so that you guys can see that, right? And well, it looks like somebody is calling you. No, okay. So yeah, and so that's what's going on. And I've got Jasmine over here on the other side. She is having a little snack out here. So anyways, I don't have her on camera right now. But yeah, just want to make sure that we get this stream properly. It looks like it is streaming well. So honey, why don't you can you pull me up and see if the stream is coming up live, and so she's gonna pull me up and make sure that we are seeing everything, because I need to look at my chats. I don't see my chats. So that's something that I wanted to see, but I just don't see my chats. It says it's excellent. Okay, so the live to control panel. All right, make sure Gimbals is excellent. All right, I don't see any share. Okay, let's take a look at this here. So check out refresh page. All right, I see all of that. Select stream. Let me see what it does. This. Okay, I can see it here. Okay, so yeah, I can see that we are coming in. All right, and yeah. So what I cannot see is my my chats. Let me see. No, without an S. Without an S. Yeah, and it's the Z. This one here. Okay, this one here. All right, there. Okay. So is it coming in strong? Let's see. Is it well? Okay. Let me see. Yeah. All right. The audio, everything. All right. So I can see it there. All right. Let me change the camera for a second. All right. And I'm taking a look at a different camera now. All right. So there's a little delay. Okay. So that's okay. Let me see for a second. Make sure the camera does change online. I don't see it changing yet. Okay, so okay, there's definitely a little delay. Okay, it should be changing now. There it is. It did change. All right, so and now we're gonna go back to the okay, it's working. All right, so yeah, just keep a monitor on that if you want. Okay, all right, so we're monitoring it, and let me do a refresh here. Refresh the page. All right, and yes, so we are going to be talking today about gimbals. All right, but before anything, if you haven't subscribed, and you want to know when we do go live, please subscribe. You can hit the button down there, and then when we come live, you're going to be able to see when we actually are live, right? Okay, so let me go to my back screen right over here. All right, so let me switch that display. All right, and let me pull out for a second. You guys are going to be able to hear me. All right, so let me pull out. All right, and let me go back to the YouTube. All right, and I want to see. Let me see which one is the one that I want to see. I want to see this here, I believe, right? And let me see. Where do I want to go? I want to go Google Accounts, Search Accounts, and now YouTube Studio. I want to see here, YouTube Studio. I think I want to go here, YouTube Studio, right? I don't want to see YouTube Studio. That's not what I want to see. All right. Let me go back to display two, and let me figure this out. Give me a second. I'm gonna come out of the frame because I want to see this. I want to see where's my live stuff. Content here. Content there. Okay. Content there. Okay, and then let's go to live. All right, and here we go. We're gonna go to this live up here. All right, and we're gonna go to this little thing here. All right, want to see that live, and we're gonna see this here. Okay. All right, there we go. All right, there's going to be a delay in the back, all right, as you can see, but the idea behind this is so that we can monitor what's going on, okay, and definitely, let me see if I can, because if I do this display like this, all right. All right, so we've got the audio. All right, so let me mute the audio. All right, so we muted the audio in the back. All right, I just want to make sure that we're on the same row. Let's go on display here. Display. It's not showing the background. All right, it's showing. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it is. This is display. All right, and then this one here. Okay, perfect. All right, so we're back. So, anyways, okay, for those of you that haven't seen us, all right, we decided to do I decided to do a live stream just to sort of like, give you guys a presence here on this YouTube channel of ours. And definitely we want to make sure that you guys, are sort of, up to date with all the stuff that's going on with us. And I see 2 current viewers. Okay, do we have 2 viewers? It looks like we have 2 viewers. I don't know who they are. I wonder if I can see them here. I cannot see them here. One view, okay. And for those of you that are coming, I don't have the ability to see if you guys are sending me any chats or anything like that. I don't have the ability to see that. For some reason, I lost my binding on my OBS, and I have not created it. So yeah, that's that. But anyways, it's Sunday, and I want to welcome you all to this live broadcast. And I labeled this, Gimbals, because let me sort of give you the reason, okay, why I'm doing this video. First of all, I think for those of you that know me, you know that I have had a plethora of cameras, video cameras, experience doing live streams. I think I was one of the very first on YouTube doing remote. As a matter of fact, I think I'm the only one doing what we call remote live stream, where I would sit down and I would have a complete live stream, not from a phone like some of these guys are doing. Some of these guys are doing live streams straight from a phone, and that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a full production live stream with multiple cameras, banners, like this one, which you're gonna see, that pulls up my name, and all these sort of things, right? And nobody else has done that. They've done it coming from a studio, but not coming from the perspective of obviously, right, of a beautiful setup. Okay, portable setup, right? All right, and so that hasn't happened. So let me go back to the wide format so you guys can see this. Okay, that's the wide format. That's the format that I usually use. All right, and so we just corrected that. All right, so now we're on wide format. We are streaming, I believe. I'm only streaming at the 1080, I believe, if I'm not correct, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong. Honey, can you check and see what the stream is? You know how you check to see if it's I know I'm definitely not streaming in 4K. I think it's 1080. You know how to check it? No, you gotta look at the stream itself. No, let me see. Quality, what does it say? 720. Okay, open it up. Advance. Yeah, 1080. Okay, there you go. Okay, you're gonna stream at 1080. Put it at 1080. There you go. Okay. Yep. Okay, we are streaming at 1080 60 frames per second. Yes. Okay, that's how you do it. So that's a 1080 60 frames per second. All right. So yeah, and it's coming really nice and clean and clear on a wide format, and so this is definitely something that we want to do. The colors that I have muted a little bit. That's why you see this nice color palette. It's taken me a while because that's a part of OBS. OBS has the ability to do that, right? And so yeah, so it's been a process through the years of being able to perfect these things. One of the things that I also have incorporated is that my cameras, okay, that I'm using are right now is the iPhone Pro, the iPhone Pro Max 16, right? But one of the things that is important, right, for me was to have what is called wireless transmission. So my phone is not hooked up through a wire or anything to do this beautiful, clean, and clear and crisp live stream, right? It is completely wireless, right? And so that is something that through technology has advanced quite a bit, and technology has given us that ability to do that. Now, before I used to use cameras and all that sort of stuff, and it was great, but it was sort of bulky when you had to do a portable live stream because you had to carry all this gear, all this camera gear. Where now, the only thing that I'm carrying is these iPhones. Okay, I've got the iPhone Pro Max. Jasmine's got the iPhone 16 plus, so these new iPhones, you can use several iPhones with the way that I've got this set up, and you can have multiple camera setup without having to carry a huge amount of bulk. The other thing that is very, very nice with these iPhones, and this is why I choose the iPhones, is that because these iPhones have this great capability to be able to work in low light situations, I don't have to carry lighting gear, all right? And if I do carry lighting gear, it's very, very minimal, all right? And so that makes the lugging around, right, much, much lighter. And yes, this is the blue Nano, all right, the blue Yeti Nano that I am using right now is also very small, but you guys have seen me also using the Plantronics headphone set with the microphone right on it, and it works really good because the audio is super, super good on that particular microphone headset, which is great. But that is great, and it works really nice, for example, when I am working by myself and I don't want nobody else, I don't want to mic anybody else but myself, and to do voiceovers, it's really good. But if I were to do, let's say, if I have the room that I have right now, and I want to transmit or broadcast live where I'm speaking and maybe Jasmine is speaking also, and we do not want to have mics for each one separately, this is a perfect solution, okay, for it. So having to go lighter, right, has given me a lot of reasons and a lot of rethinking of how it is that I want to become more productive with less gear, right, and more efficient, right, in ways that the current technology is actually advancing. So with that said, these iPhones are, by the way, these iPhones are super, super good. I think they're really great when it comes to stabilization. But my train of thought has always been, and my belief has always been, that it doesn't matter how good your camera is, whether it is an iPhone, a cell phone, whether it's Samsung, iPhone, whether it is a Sony camera, whether it is a Arri camera, it doesn't matter, all right, what people tell you. The stability inside these boxes of electronics, with the IBIS and with the stabilization, will never, ever, ever come close to a literal gimbal. All right. And so with that said, I purchased, or I'm using actually a gimbal, all right, a phone gimbal, when I use the iPhones for recording or doing any kind of vlogs or anything like that. But with gimbals, there is a lot to know about gimbals. And the most important thing about gimbals really depends on how it is that you are going to use the actual gimbal. What type of production is it that you're doing, right? You've got gimbals that you can buy for as low as $30, which are the ones that you see at Amazon and maybe at Temu and then that sort of stuff. And then you've got the more professional, more elaborate gimbal like this one here. And I'll explain to you what makes this gimbal so much more professional for a phone, right? There's a lot of selections and a lot of choices that you can select when you're actually looking for a gimbal. This one happens to be the Moza. That's the Moza. All right, it is the Moza. Let me see if I can see the if I can show you the model number on it. It's actually the Moza, the Moza M1. I don't know if let me see if it's printed somewhere. It doesn't have it. Well, anyway, it's oh, there it is. Yeah, the Moza, the Mini M1. Okay, that is what this is. It's the Moza, okay, Mini M1, as you can see right here. All right, you see? Now, DJI makes beautiful gimbals. Okay, DJI makes really nice gimbals, and they're not expensive. They're fairly inexpensive. I think the latest one, I think it's like a DJI 6 that it extends. The problem with the DJI is that the motors are not very strong, so when you put a heavier phone, you're gonna see that the phone struggles, or actually the gimbal actually struggles a little bit. With this gimbal, one of the things that you look at when you're looking at professional gimbals is the strength of the gimbal itself to be able to hold a phone. And maybe if you want to put extra accessories, right, it has those extra options, right, that you can use to be able to do your production. With this gimbal, I'm going to talk to you about this gimbal in a second, right? But first, let me explain to you the things that I look for when you're looking at a professional gimbal. The first thing that I look for, which I just mentioned, is the capability of the gimbal to hold a phone that is a little bit heavier than normal. In other words, some of these larger phones, like for example this phone that I'm using here, the iPhone Pro Max, the 16 Pro Max, is a little bit on the heavier side. If you're using a Samsung or a Nokia or a Huawei, any of those phones, right, that are the bigger ones, the more professional ones with the bigger screens, they're going to have some weight to them. And when you add a microphone, right, it's going to add more weight to your gimbal itself, the motors themselves. And so some of these gimbals, a lot of these gimbals don't have the strength and the capability to be able to hold that weight. That is the most important thing when you look for a gimbal. This Moza is one of the best, if not the best, when it comes to the strength of the motors. Now, with that said, there is a sort of a trade-off, right? One of the trade-offs is that this gimbal is not as small as a DJI, right? But it's not big, all right? It is not foldable like the DJI. The DJI can fold and it becomes, pretty small, maybe about this small. This one, as you can see, is a little bit, on the bigger side, right? But, just because it's bigger, it's really not that much bigger. Now, the other thing that when you're doing production that you have to sort of take into that actually for me it actually made a huge influence as to what gimbal I used, was the ability to have my gimbal be able to charge my phone. Although the iPhones, this iPhone 16 or even the 15s, the batteries last a very, very, very long time. When you start recording, in ProRes, and you start recording in your higher codecs, right? That the iPhones are doing now, your battery consumption is going to be less because obviously your is draining your battery quicker. And with that said, there's several options that people use. One of them is adding a external battery and mounting on the side and that sort of stuff with the cables and all this, and that's all great. But with this particular gimbal, as a matter of fact, this is the only gimbal that is available that does wireless charging on your phone, as long as your phone is capable to do wireless charging. Now, that's a huge plus, and you don't have to use it, right? But if you need it, it has the capability and the ability to do that. With that said, because it does this wireless charging, the gimbal on the bottom is a little bit more robust, all right, because it has a huge battery on it. This gimbal gives 10 hours, okay, 10 full hours of using the gimbal by itself without charging your phone, using the external wireless charging to charge your phone while using the gimbal. With using this gimbal, but if you were going to use this gimbal by itself, it gives you 10 hours of battery life, which is phenomenal, right? And when you use it to charge your phone, it lowers it a little bit, not much, to about 7.5 hours, all right, which is still very, very substantial. Now, furthermore, the gimbal itself, okay, has mounting points, as you can see right here. It has mounting points to add. It's got mounting threads, right? And you can add, like, for example, like a cold shoe, or lights or anything. It's got one on this on the top and one on the bottom, and then it's got one on the back over here. All right, it's got that ability, right, so that you have the capability of using the gimbal itself, to mount other accessories. Now, there is one drawback, but it is not with the gimbal. All right, there is one drawback to this particular gimbal, and that is the app. The app is subpar, if you want to say. It's terrible. When I mean terrible, I mean it in a very careful way. Let me explain a little bit more. The app that this Moza has actually released to not only power this gimbal but also the other gimbals, when it comes to audio, oh my god, the audio is terrible, all right, because the audio sounds very, very hollow, all right. It doesn't see on the iPhone 16, the Pro Max, it doesn't it records the audio well on your front camera, right? Like, in other words, the new iPhone 16 has several microphones, but when I am recording something in front, the microphones that it uses is terrible. It sounds extremely hollow, and there is no way to select what microphone you want to use from the iPhone 16, which has incredible audio. As a matter of fact, I don't need a wireless microphone like a Rode Wireless or a condensed microphone or anything like that, because that's how good the microphones on the new 16 Pro Max is. Now, that's the only drawback that I see so far. The gimbal has the capability of filming vertical as well as filming horizontal, which all gimbals have. It's got inception mode. It's got a whole bunch of stuff that is really, really nice. Now, another drawback that I see is if you see these buttons here on the gimbal, right? They're kind of small, right? And so when you are actually doing your run and gun, sometimes it is hard to get to because it is not ergonomically friendly. All right, it's like, for example, my thumb has a hard time getting to it and being able to control it. But then again, everybody's hands are different in size, so that could be a pro for some, and that could be a negative for some. Personally, I don't have super large hands, but I don't have small hands neither. I have medium-sized hands. I find it a little bit hard, okay, to be able to get to the controls. But with that said, that's something that's very minimal, because when you actually use a gimbal the proper way, you set what kind of mode you want to have it in. You set your gimbal how it is that you want to have it, and you go and you run with it and you film, and you're not really trying to do stuff with your buttons here in front while you're filming, because you're trying to focus on your composition, your shot, not what type of setup you need, whether it's a POV or whether it's a follow or whether it's a stable or whatever the case may be, right? And so that doesn't really bother me. It might bother for some of you that are using the gimbal to do other things that the gimbals are not really designed to be used that way, not in a professional environment. And that's okay, that's understandable, but that's what I see bad about this particular gimbal. But with that said, these gimbals brand new. This is the Moza. This is the Moza Mini M1. All right, the Moza Mini M1. I think it says here, yeah, Mini M1. All right. New, it runs for I think like about $129, something like that. So which is a great deal. But you can pick these gimbals up for somewhere around, used, somewhere around 100. I've seen them maybe as low as $80, and that's a great bargain because when you do get this gimbal, I guarantee you that you're gonna get something that is very solid, okay, very robust, and on the professional line, because Moza is not one of these companies. Moza is they do professional gimbals for cameras, okay, just like DJI. All right. Hohem is a great gimbal, but Hohem doesn't really have, and it's not really known for gimbals other than cell phone gimbals. But even Hohem, which is a much better brand than DJI as a gimbal because the motors are stronger, it still does not compete with the strength that this particular gimbal has. So now that got that out of the way, all right, in these next videos that you're going to be seeing coming and filming between me and Jasmine, these holiday ideas and gifts, I think that on the video that I just released saying wishing everybody a happy holiday season, you can see me using this particular gimbal, all right, to film one of the shoots that we are going to be releasing probably tomorrow, maybe even later today. I'm not sure, as long as I finish editing, and I'm still editing it. And you will see Jasmine doing B-roll. So there was actually two cameras, two iPhone 16s that were being used, one for front camera and the other one as B-roll. So yes, this is stuff that you guys are going to be seeing in this new, I'm not going to say this is a new series because it's not, but the new way of filming where I'm not going to be using my Fujifilm cameras or Leicas or Canons or Sonys, and all of that is great and all of that has its place, but not for me, not right now, not because I want to be, number one, I want to be portable. Number two, I want to be productive. I want to be lightweight, easy to set up, all right, and most of all, very flexible, right? And this setup is what has given me for this coming year, 2024 and 2025, the ability to be able to produce, this stuff. Now, obviously, if this is what we call a run and gun setup, all right, this is if I were going to do a wedding or a professional photo shoot, all right, I'm talking about photo shoot, all right, not video shoot, photo shoot, all right, then yes, I would pull out my my Fujifilms, my medium formats, or something of that nature, right, to be able to capture the those moments. But for this run and gun, which is what is intended for, this I think is probably the best recommended setup that I can give anybody. Number one is because the phone is a phone that you always have in your pocket, all right, so you don't have to go out and buy another phone. And I'm only telling you about the iPhone series, the iPhone 15 and the iPhone 16. I've had both of them, this, and now I have the 16 Pro Max, all right, so this I think will outdo anything. The gimbal is a definite plus and a definite need if you want to make sure 100% that you're not going to be getting any crazy warping or anything while you're filming, right? That might ruin your video because you have stabilization on your coming from your phone instead of your gimbal. Your gimbal will always give you a much more smoother, much more natural flow. All right, it's always the best way, the only way that professionals actually go with. I'm not saying that those of you that use OIS or that use stabilization coming from your tech, right? I'm not saying that it is wrong. All right, that is up to everybody's individual perspective, but it is not the professional way. It is not the proper way, and you're gonna see it eventually here or there. And yes, you can correct it. You can correct it sometimes in post. Sometimes you need to edit that out so that the viewer doesn't see when your camera, actually messed up. There's a lot of tricks that can be done, but you don't need to do that. You really don't need to do that. So anyways, let me know what you guys think about this particular gimbal. I picked up this gimbal. I picked it up at a really great deal. I paid $60 for this gimbal. I have our resources out here that in the Orlando area where I have the ability to pick things up very inexpensively. But I've seen the normal price for this on the used market is about $80, $100. Brand new is about $129. So it's not an expensive gimbal. It is just a very good gimbal, one that I recommend to use. I would rather see you spend money getting a gimbal than getting all these other things that you can adapt to a phone, like these extra lenses and all these ND filters and stuff like that. Before you get any of that stuff, get yourself a gimbal, and that is going to bring your production value really high, really good. So anyways, I just wanted to sort of like do this quick live stream, not only to get back on track, okay, so that you guys can see what we do out here, but also to give you some ideas for some gifts, letting you know also, right, that we're going to be doing this series of gifts coming up with one later on today. And And yeah, and so for the meantime, yeah, just hit me up and questions and stuff like that. Me and Jasmine will always, yeah, she's over here going like, yay. But before I do that, let me do this real quick. All right, and let me do this. Just stand right there for a second. All right, I want to just do this. Let me see. Oh, yeah, yeah, there she is. Come on, Jasmine. Show your face. There's Jasmine. Yeah. Say hello, honey. Yeah. Yeah, she's got the her iPad, and she's making sure that every single one of you guys can see us. And yep. Oh, show your face, honey, for our crowd. Come on, honey. Come on. Oh, look at you. Yeah. So me and Jasmine, we're still around, bringing you all this great stuff. And I hope you guys are going to have a wonderful holiday season, and yes. So we want to say until next time. Don't forget, guys. Don't forget to please subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, okay, please subscribe. There's a button somewhere down there. You can see our buttons. And let me get the camera back to me. All right, that's what's good about the iPhone. And here we go. Let me see. I got to get it back a little bit more. There we go. All right. So it's back again, right, to where it was before. And yeah, maybe I should show the setup. Yeah, I guess I can show the setup. Let me bring this up in here. So let me show you a little bit really quickly on the setup that I'm using. Okay. I've got it on the different tripod, the desktop tripod. This is the iPhone 16 Pro that I am using, as you can see right here. Okay, and you can see how it's a camera. See how it works right there. See, it's completely wireless. Nothing on it. Okay, you can see me live there. All right, and yes, and then let me show you what I've got for the computer. Okay, I'm using this. Okay, which is the sorry about that. All right, which is the Yoga, the Lenovo Yoga, and you can see Jazzy over there. All right, she's doing her thing right there. Okay, say hello, Jazzy. Oh, there he is. And yeah, and this is her little setup that we've got. And yep. And so let me bring this back up. All right, so over here, somewhere back over there. Somewhere over there. All right, you can go back. Here we go. All right. So yeah, and so anyways, for those of you that have joined us today, I want to say thank you for joining us. And let me put this on here. Okay. Thank you for joining us, and definitely subscribe. And me and Jasmine, we want to wish you all always a very happy holiday season, very Merry Christmas. And if you don't see us, because you'll see us obviously in our videos, but maybe not through a live stream, thank you for such a wonderful year. You guys have a wonderful, happy new year also, and until our next broadcast, thank you once again from the bottom of our hearts. Bye-bye.